It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 14th of November. I'm Michael Groff. One more day with dry conditions and temperatures above average here across Arizona, but that much advertised big change over toward active weather that we've been talking about for a long, long time, that's coming in here tomorrow. Increasing clouds, wind, chance of rain, a few thunderstorms, higher elevation snow, much cooler temperatures. Daytime highs going way down to near average levels by tomorrow and well below average levels for much of next week. Still, the particulars on where, when, and how much precipitation there will be are a little bit unclear, but we are getting some better clarity as to the initial onset of the precipitation. We've adjusted our forecasts a little bit here, so we'll get you all the details of that as we dive on in. But before we do any of that, it is Friday, and that means it's Photo Friday here. That's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. So first up, David Parnell. That's the guy that took this picture. Last Saturday was the time. The place Coronado High School football. Won is the semifinals going on there? Yeah, we're getting into playoffs already. The year has moved so fast, and temperatures were in the 70s. It was a gorgeous night for football. Austin's got a picture here. This is from, I believe this is from Canyon Lake. Then Beth with a picture of a butterfly. How about that? That's so nice to see that. You know, we love to see all the wildlife and all the different all the life that's out there in the desert. You know, the desert is blooming. Beth usually sends pictures of flowers and various other things like that. So we really appreciate that. How about this from Buck? This is up in Helena, Montana, the Northern Lights. Well, not really the Northern Lights so much as these auroras that were touched off by the G4 magnetic storm that took place this week, and it's very prolific up there. Look at that. You know, it's fantastic. Spoiler alert, we're going to see some more of these pictures from a little bit closer to home here in just a moment, but that is quite a sight there. David Nielsen down there near Sierra Vista, pretty close to the border. And just look, it's always, outside of the summer, it's always a great time to get out into Arizona and take advantage of the beauty that this state does have. But if you're going to do it, for sure, this is absolutely the time of year. So thank you, David, for sending in those pictures. He's always out and about somewhere in the high country, the mountains, whatever. And we really do appreciate all of his work and his submissions to Photo Friday through the years. This is another view of the G4 magnetic storm, the auroras, but this is closer to home for sure. This is in Arizona. This is down in Florence, and these were taken by Harvey. And again, you could see, especially with your phone, you could certainly see if you get away from the city, these auroras, even here in Arizona, which is unusual. Although I believe back in May or so, we had some visuals here, and you could even see them with the naked eye outside of Phoenix. If you really, got out there into the open desert, the rural areas, or the higher mountains of northern Arizona, you could really see those. So again, thank you for that. And then here, this is a picture that was submitted to us from... What is this? Who sent this picture? Oh my goodness, did I forget? No, this is from Mike Moss. Oh, I should remember the guy's name. Mike, he sent in this picture. This is actually an oldie but a goodie. This is from the summer solstice. This is from Globe looking west toward the Four Peaks. So cool stuff there from Mike Moss. And thank you, everybody, for all of your submissions. We could not do this without you. Photo Friday each and every week. And if you want to get your stuff in here, groffshow@gmail.com is our email address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. All right, let's get into it here. The almanac from yesterday. 88 degrees, the afternoon high in Phoenix after a morning low of 64. 78 and 55 are the averages for this time of year. And as we take a look outside right now, just before 11 o'clock, we've got mostly sunny sky out there. Yeah, there's a few high clouds, though. 73 degrees, 75 degrees now at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 37, relative humidity 25%, the wind from the east-southeast at 7, and the barometer is steady. Let's check the satellite out here across the west, and yes, there's our weather system. It is spinning up off the California coast. Moisture is being advected into California and Nevada. We're starting to see that rain, the snow in the Sierra Now, for the moment, all of this is off to the west of us. We could see some isolated showers this afternoon for far northwest Arizona, maybe up around Kingman, down to Bullhead City, Lake Havasu City. I suppose it's not out of the question. We could see a few light showers there, but for the most part, we will stay dry across most of Arizona for today. Here is the watch warning map and some red flag warnings out across parts of the plains. We've got the wind advisories out here in the west, flood watches for parts of Southern California as well. And yes, some higher elevation snow will be taking place with this system as it comes on in. The convective outlook for today, no organized severe weather, but we do anticipate some thunder along the Southern California coast. The tropics and the Atlantic Basin, pretty much you can put it to bed. It's over. Now I say that, but keep in mind that hurricane season does run through the end of November, and there could always be a surprise. Weather's going to do what weather does. It is weird like that. But right now, it sure doesn't look like we're going to see anything for at least the next 7 days. And when we see the Atlantic kind of in this situation, the Atlantic, the Caribbean, the Gulf, in this kind of a pattern, it usually doesn't spark up into anything, but you never know, I suppose. That's why we keep an eye on it. The East Pacific, very, very quiet as well. All right, closer to home, the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix between 1 inch to 1.5 inches. We could see anywhere from 2 to 3 inches north of us across northern, eastern Maricopa. Parts of far northern Pinal, I suppose, could see some locally heavy rain. Gila, sections of Yavapai, Coconino County, even up into northwest Arizona, Mojave County as well. Could see some locally heavy rain. Again, 2 to 3 inches in some spots. This isn't just with this system this weekend. This is over the next 7 days. 2, possibly 3 systems will impact us here in the Southwest. We'll get you the details of all this right now. What's going on with this weather pattern in more detail? To break that down, let's check the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. The GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. This is the upper look at 500 millibars. That's about 18,000 feet off the ground. All right, big trough that's just off the northeast coast of the U.S. That brought in all that cool weather earlier this week, last weekend and early this week. High pressure in between and out here across the west, just off the west coast, there's our weather system that's going to be impacting us this weekend. Yes, it's taking its dear sweet time to get in here. It is moving a bit slower than anticipated, but what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, we'll see some clouds. We'll call it partly sunny. High temperatures will top out in the mid-80s this afternoon, maybe upper 80s for the warmest desert spots. Meanwhile, up north, 60s and 70s for the high country. And again, there could be a couple of showers for far northwest Arizona, maybe the far western portion of the state. Again, from Kingman down toward Lake Havasu, Bullhead City. But even there, I don't anticipate anything meaningful. For tonight, partly cloudy sky. Will turn mostly cloudy overnight. Lows generally in the upper 50s to mid 60s. And then for tomorrow. All right, we'll start the day out pretty dry here. Mostly cloudy, but showers will slowly be increasing from west to east. Now, as for the timing and all this, I've had a number of people asking me questions about when might the rain come in here. All right, could we see a sprinkle tomorrow morning or during the midday hours? Yes, I suppose. But in terms of actual precipitation, let's look at the timing on this. This is coming off of our HRRR model, the high resolution rapid refresh. This is at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Most of the precipitation is near the Colorado River at that time and westward towards Southern California up into Southern Nevada. And there's some pretty decent rain, some embedded thunderstorms out that way. Further east, a few scant showers, a few kind of discrete showers out here creeping across Yuma, La Paz. And again, maybe across northern Arizona, a stray shower or two starts to develop at that time too. But for the most part, we're still pretty quiet. Now, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we have the rain starting to come in. This is a close call. Is it going to rain at 2, 3, 4? Let's just say by mid to late afternoon, we should start to see at least some light showers coming in here. Now, understand, this is not going to come in as a deluge, but some light rain is possible by tomorrow afternoon. It will be showery, though. Not everybody's going to get wet right away from this. But as we go later into the afternoon, and especially the evening and overnight hours, Saturday night into early Sunday, that's when we'll have a better chance of showers and some embedded thunderstorms. Now, again, keep in mind, not going to be a nonstop stratiform rain event that just goes for hours and hours and hours. It'll be showery and kind of frequent showery from Saturday evening through at least a good portion of the day on Sunday. High temperatures tomorrow will be a little cooler. We should top out in the mid-70s to about 80. That's somewhat closer to seasonal averages. All right, here we go to Sunday. And the day looks pretty wet here, especially in the morning. Showers, some isolated thunderstorms likely. Then a chance of showers in the afternoon. We'll call it mostly cloudy with high temperatures topping out somewhere in the upper 60s and low 70s. And that's going to feel quite a bit cooler than we have been. That'll be the coolest weather we've had around here in 7-8 months now. All right, keep it going. Let's that initial system moves out. So Monday, we're kind of between systems. There could still be some isolated showers around, though. So we'll call for a slight chance of rain on Monday. High temperatures, mid-60s to about 70. Tuesday, the next system comes in. Now, this one may not have as much moisture, but it is a substantially colder and thus more dynamic system. And therefore, I still think we're going to get it's kind of going to be fairly similar in terms of coverage of rain. Might even actually wind up being somewhat more numerous in coverage. So we'll call for numerous showers. There could be a thunderstorm too, and higher elevation snow. The snow level is going to come down. This first system, the snow level might touch about 7,000 feet. This next system, the snow level should come down at least to 6,000 feet or so, maybe even a little bit lower. We'll have to see. High temperatures, low to mid 60s on Tuesday with a pretty good chance. Right now we're calling for a 60% chance of seeing some rain here in Phoenix. I would say the rain will be fairly widespread with a decent amount of precipitation, anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch across south central Arizona with that feature. Wednesday, still a slight chance of a shower, but that system will be moving on out. Call it partly cloudy. High temperatures, again, mid 60s, maybe upper 60s. Here's Thursday. Right now, it looks pretty quiet. There's, I suppose, a slight chance of a shower, but otherwise, high temperatures will top out again, anywhere from about 64 to 67 or so. Should be nice and cool, that's for sure. Those overnight lows are going to drop down into the 40s and low 50s. It depends on cloud cover and moisture. But it does look like certainly much cooler weather even at night. So that'll be nice, giving those air conditioners a rest. A week from today, this is Friday, the 21st, and the GFS has system number 3 lining up just off the California coast, coming down towards Southern California about that time. If that's right, we're still dry, but clouds on the increase. High temperatures should, again, still be somewhere in the mid-60s to about 70. This is Saturday, the 22nd. That system is meandering east. We might start to see some rain creeping into the western part of the state by late in the day if this works out. And then as we go out to the end of the forecast period, this is Sunday the 23rd, that system is weakening, kind of moving into more of an open wave type system, but still some light precipitation would be possible. Not nearly as impactful of a system as what we saw with the one this weekend or the follow-up system on Tuesday into Wednesday. This system would be substantially weaker and more moisture starved, but still, we could see some precipitation with that feature. And obviously, look, we are out here now at 10 days. We're moving out into fantasy land. So obviously, this can change. It likely will between now and then. So we'll just keep an eye on it. Looking at the synoptic look here, again, some light precipitation possible. Nothing earth-shattering with that, but keep that in mind. A prolonged period of unsettled and cool weather looks likely here starting tomorrow, but really more in earnest, the below average temperatures from Sunday onward. And that's going to be nice. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix, this goes out through the 28th of November. This is off of the GFS ensemble. The mean continues to be elevated here. Upwards of an inch and a quarter, inch and a half. And it's more or less the same story for the European ensemble, the European AI ensemble. They're all in fairly good agreement as to the amount of precipitation with this. We've kind of seen a meeting of the minds on these. Yeah, there's some slight variations, but for the most part, a pretty active period here for the next 7 to 10 days looks likely. There will be breaks in between. This is not a nonstop rain event day after day after day, but we will have these frequent opportunities for precipitation and temperatures below average. Speaking of, temperatures off the national blend of models above average today, a little lower tomorrow. But yes, you can see as we go into next week and beyond, highs in the 60s for the most part, maybe near 70, overnight lows 40s and 50s, depending on where you are in the valley, because this is at Sky Harbor, and obviously away from Sky Harbor, your temperatures will be a little bit lower. But given that we'll have quite a bit of cloud cover and elevated moisture levels, we're not going to see a huge spread in temperatures across most of the valley during the overnight hours on most nights. All right, looking at the Climate Prediction Center outlook, this is for the 8 to 14 day period, November 22 through 27, and November 21 through the 27. And if this is right, temperatures out here skewed toward below average, while precipitation is skewed toward above average for us here in Arizona and actually across a good portion of the country. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning, and should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you're really enjoying what we do here, you want to support the channel, by all means do so by clicking that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make a contribution to us that way, or via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo, that's also linked up down in the description below, so take advantage of that should you so choose. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Kylie related, Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description below, so take advantage of that too. Check all that out. Our streaming station, that's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music, have a lot of fun with that. Again, linked up below. And of course, Dan and the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files on YouTube, or courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. Dan runs a great channel over there. He has just a boatload of content, and I highly, highly suggest you check all of that out. Please. And, if you really enjoy my videos, his videos, YouTube is kind of doing weird YouTube stuff right now. So if you would consider making sure to share those videos, like, comment, kind of have some engagement with those videos, even if it's just to say hi or, Mike, you suck, whatever. You know what? It's all good with me, just so long as, that engagement. That's what we like to see around here. Positive attention, negative attention, whatever. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. It's amazing. It's so greatly appreciated. I can't tell you how much. Thank you again so much. And please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there. Have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.